What's up, everybody? Jesse Nunez here, founder of the Elite Amateur Fight League. I hope everybody's staying safe. And with that being said, with the current COVID-19 pandemic, I thought it was a great idea to jump on a video and give everybody an update about the current sports environment and the plans going forward with the Elite Amateur Fight League. To answer some of the questions that we've been getting online, I brought in our lead investor, Carl Brewer, who'll be posing those questions for us so that we can get that information out there to all of our investors and potential investors. Carl, thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome. Great to be with you, Jesse.
Great. If you could do me a favor, just let everybody know who you are, and then just go ahead and start firing those questions out.
Sure. I mean, I'm a big MMA fan. I've had the pleasure of attending a number of Elite Amateur Fight League events. But professionally, I've always been in the investment business. I started off as an investment banker and then became a portfolio manager. I manage mutual funds, investing in small growth companies. And at the same time, I've been investing privately in a number of startup and early stage companies and been an advisor and investor to a number of those companies. So with that, Jesse, back to you here. Maybe you could start off just with an overview of how COVID-19 has affected the sports industry in general and specifically MMA and the Elite Amateur Fight League.
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, over the last 2 months, Carl, we've all witnessed the sports world get turned on its head. The landscape has completely changed. The NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, NHL hockey, they've all postponed their seasons. Some of them may even be forced to cancel their seasons. And unfortunately, other leagues like the XFL, they've gone completely out of business. And here at the Elite Amateur Fight League, we haven't escaped the effects of COVID-19. Immediately, it affected us in a negative way. We had to cancel a couple of our live events, and we pushed the start of our fourth season back to probably fourth quarter of 2020, but maybe even, early 2021 at this point. And, after shaking off the sting and going into recovery mode, I truly believe we will be even stronger when the smoke clears here after the pandemic runs its course.
Yeah. So what's making you so confident? We have a question from Charles Leota on the WeFunder page, and he's asking the big question, will the AFL even be around post-COVID? What's making you so comfortable?
Yeah, absolutely we will be around post-virus. It's going to run its course. And the reason we believe that is we have a very lean operating budget. In contrast to these bigger sports leagues, at the time of the start of this pandemic, we didn't have much overhead to run the league. We don't have any full-time employees. We don't own any venues or facilities that we have to pay for. And the majority of our costs are directly related to the live events and the production of those live events for broadcast. So with no events, there's very little run cost involved for us to tread water until the pandemic runs its course. And the one thing this horrible pandemic did is it unexpectedly leveled the playing field. Those of us with the quality product in the beginning stages of our development, like we are, with very little overhead like we have, our content is almost just as valuable as the bigger, more robust leagues. They have $1 million operating budgets that they have to continue to run their companies while they're not operating. We don't have that. And our content is almost just as valuable at this point. It's also much easier for us to plan, schedule, and host events for broadcast. We can produce a fanless studio model really easy because of our low operating costs. And we're not counting on millions of fans to attend our events. So a fanless model isn't out of reach for us. I guess another key factor is that for the first time in decades, there's a huge shortage in sports content, right? It's never been like this, probably in the last 50 years. We've been able to take meetings with sports broadcasters that are now open to new content and content providers like ourselves.
That's great. That's great. We actually have some non-COVID questions coming in too, talking about some of the exciting opportunities we have once things get up and running. So we have one question. Algia Motley asks if you plan to sell merchandise as a source of revenue. And Xavier Wilkins asks about the franchising plan.
Yeah, so we absolutely plan to sell merch. Currently, we have two separate websites. We have the Elite Amateur Fight League website that if you've been on recently, it's completely rehauled during the COVID pandemic. We've been able to, set some time aside to redo our website. It looks outstanding. Then we have our Fighter First website, which is where all our merch lives. And we plan on merging the two. There's going to be a store on the Elite Amateur Fight League website, and the Fighter First will merge right over to that. So definitely going to be some merch available really soon here. And then the second question, the franchising plan. We plan to fully develop this league before we franchise. So right now, going into season 4, we'll have 12 teams. We want to develop a 32-team national league, get some good value behind the teams before we franchise. And then once we franchise, we plan to sell that off to private business. And then obviously all of our investors at that point will receive a dividend.
Great. Well, Jesse, thanks for taking the time to answer some of our questions here. And as an investor and a fan, thanks for continuing to push forward through these tough times to make sure we come out better on the other end. Do you have any closing thoughts about the future of the league you'd like to share before we wrap up?
Yeah, man. To be honest, I mean, this pandemic is new territory for all of us. We don't know what the future holds. But I'm encouraged and motivated to make as much lemonade out of these lemons that we got in front of us today. You know, we're going to fight our way through these next couple months with the new plan, and we hope to start season 4, like I said, end of the fourth quarter, but possibly into 2021. And so you know, we're really pushing towards those start dates, and we're really confident that we'll be able to do that. And for anybody who's invested, like you, Carl, thank you for believing in our vision. And we're going to fight our way to make this the best investment you've ever made. That's what our goal is. Especially someone like you who's done this in the past. You've been very successful with it, and if we can make this the best investment you've ever had, man, we're doing something right. So, I mean, that's our goal. And if you're out there and you're considering to becoming an investor, we hope you take advantage of the opportunity, become part of our ownership group, because we fully plan on bringing that Final Four excitement to the multi-billion-dollar sport of MMA.